you were a weightlifter in the Olympics?
Yeah, let me give you a little background. People, what we tell the media all the time. My parents were missionaries, so I actually grew up in Guadalajara, Mexico. Why is that relevant? It's especially relevant to what we're doing now because you know all the issues that we're having with the cartels in Mexico. And of course, I grew up right in the center of where those cartels operate, know the Mexican government, know the members of the cartels extremely well. So I'm constantly called upon to ask for intelligence analysis on that situation. Left the mission field, came back. My mother got heart issue, and we had to come back from the mission field. And anyway, I graduated from high school in Florida and went to Liberty University. If you ever will recall, there was a gentleman who was in charge of the moral majority at the time called Jerry Falwell. And I went there just going to go for the first year, and that was it. That's all I was planning on doing. And they asked me to be captain of the weightlifting team. I was an avid weightlifter. They had just created a weightlifting team. I didn't realize it, Bruce, at the time when I accepted the scholarship to be captain of the weightlifting team, that my ex officio position was actually also part of Jerry Falwell's security detail. We traveled around, of course, back in that time. Ronald Reagan was the president, and we traveled quite often to the White House and all across the country. So I got used to being around the public, protective details, and politics. So once I graduated from there, I went back home. We have a family trust. We have a large real estate holdings in that area, and began to get into real estate development. My grandfather was in politics. He was the county commissioner. You know, back then, before you had county councils, you had commissioners all across the country. I followed in his footsteps, and I served on council for 32 years. One of the reasons why I'm giving you this story is, of course, if you're in politics, you want to be out in front of the public, Bruce, because you know that's how you make sure that you get the name out there. I was president of a civic club, a Kiwanis club. One of the times a guest speaker didn't show up, so I called the sheriff. I said, "Look, I want you to send me a deputy, somebody out of the academy. I don't care whether he cleans his gun, shows you how to work the blue lights. I don't care what he does, but I need a speaker." He did. He came out in the question and answer session. Somebody asked the question, "Where's that vest thing that's supposed to protect you?" He made the comment, "Well, the department doesn't provide them." I thought that was odd. I had just gotten on council. I hadn't been there very long. And so I sent him over to the Rotary Club and had somebody in the audience ask the same question, same answer. So I called the sheriff. I said, "Look, I don't want to get your boy in trouble, but he says you do not have bulletproof vests. Is that accurate?" He said, "Well, you've never funded them." So I'm young and cocky at the time, Bruce. No problem. I'll get a $500,000, put it in the budget. We'll get that taken care of. Well, we got the $500,000 put in. I happened to be out of town on third reading. My colleagues thought otherwise and thought it should be removed, so they took the $500,000 out of the budget. When I get back, I have all of these reporters asking me the question, "What do you think about your councilman's position that you shouldn't fund vests?" Well, I did something a politician's not supposed to do. I spoke without thinking and said, "Well, great. If they feel that way about it, we'll just raise the money ourselves." Of course, that was the headline 32 years ago, Bruce. Still looking for an exit strategy. Can't find one. I mean, because we have just not been able to complete the mission yet.